Okay.
Is Leila okay?
I'm going to guess that she's sleeping in because last night was Harper's party,
Oh.
her birthday party.
Oh, I see.
So they probably partied.
Okay.
So lesson 30, you want to read lesson 30 for us?
Sure.
Okay.
All right. God is in everything I see because God is in my mind. The idea for today is the springboard for vision. From this idea will the world open up before you, and you will look upon it and see in it what you have never seen before. Nor will what you saw before be even faintly visible to you. Today, we are trying to use a new kind of quote projection. We are not attempting to get rid of what we do not like by seeing it outside. Instead, we are trying to see in the world what is in our minds and what we want to recognize is there. Thus, we are trying to join with what we see rather than keeping it apart from us. That is the fundamental difference between vision and the way you see.
Okay, but stop right there. Just to quickly define terms here. Vision is different from seeing most of the time in the course. So the vision has to do with seeing it as Christ sees the world. So seeing sameness. Usually seeing what we see is just what we're projecting out. And so that's because that's all of our enemies and differences and sin and guilt and controversy and frustration and all that stuff is, oh, got Leila. I think I admitted her.
Hi, sorry.
Morning!
Good morning.
How was the party?
So loud. Forgot to turn the volume down. My alarm didn't go off. I didn't set it for some reason, and it's a long day yesterday, so I just crazy. I'm so sorry.
No worries.
Hi, everyone looks so cute.
Oh.
Thank you very much. I like being cute.
Sorry, I turned the volume all the way down. I was like, why isn't anybody talking?
Okay. All right,
You're
so
so funny.
we're doing
Good morning,
lesson.
Leila.
Hi, good morning.
Kristen's cooking chicken, and
I am.
we're cooking lesson 30.
Wait, okay. I'm gonna listen in.
Sure. So vision is what Jesus sees, and sight is what our eyeballs see, and it's usually derived from projection, which is the world of sin and guilt and separation. So we're trying to see a world, we're trying to see in the world what is in our minds. And it says in the course that the thought and its creator can never really be far apart, something to that effect. And it points to the fact that because everything originates from God, we can never be apart from God. We can just have the idea that we're apart from God, which is this idea of perception and sin and guilt, which we project out because we feel bad about. So the fundamental difference between vision and the way you see is that we see that we're separate, and the vision of Christ is that we're not. We're still at home and we're still complete. So that's it. That just defining terms there. Verse number 3.
Okay.
Today's idea should be applied as often as possible throughout the day. Whenever you have a moment or so, repeat it to yourself slowly, looking about you, and trying to realize that the idea applies to everything you do see now, or could see now, if it were within the range of your sight. Real vision is not limited to concepts such as near and far. To help you begin to get used to this idea, try to think of things beyond your present range as well as those you can actually see as you apply today's idea. Real vision is not only unlimited by space and distance, but it does not depend on the body's eyes at all. The mind is its only source. To aid in helping you to become more accustomed to this idea as well, devote several practice periods to applying today's idea with your eyes closed, using whatever subjects come to mind, and looking within rather than without. Today's idea applies equally to both.
Yep. Within and without are really the same things. We think that outside's real and inside's, just made up. Get over it. Get over it. It's just an idea. But ideas are things. They're just as physical as the physical world. It's just, they're just denser, I would say. This is the table. This is real. That was just an idea. Well, the idea, it's lighter, so it can come and go and kind of evaporate. The idea of the table is more dense. I don't know, I'm probably saying that wrong. But for us, it's a harder thing to dissipate. It's a harder thing for us to let go because we think this is physical. But this is, this is more dense. It's like this, water vapor is the same stuff as that piece of ice. But the ice is the vibration of the water has slowed, and so it condenses, and it becomes what we call solid. But it's still that H2O. It's just H2O that has been that the vibration has slowed, literally. So when you add heat to ice, the vibration, the movement, the energy in the molecules of the ice speed up, and what we call that melting. We just have a name for it. But what's really happening is it's adding energy, it's adding frequency, it's adding movement, and it's raising frequency, kind of, right? It's moving faster, and so it moves into liquid, and then it moves into vapor, and then pretty soon you can fly a plane through it, right? You can't. It's ethereal. It's lighter. Everything in life is like that. And I've heard that water is actually it's from another dimension, which makes sense, right? Because it's like very unique substance, like that inhabits all the different forms that we experience. But isn't that an interesting thought, that add some frequency, raise the frequency in anything solid, and it can become formless. Formless to the extent that it doesn't impede you anymore. It doesn't withhold. It doesn't stop you. It isn't separating you from anything. And so what are those things that we make solid? Make solid in a way that's not support, but solid in a way that's a barrier to what we want, a barrier to love, and a barrier to happiness, or a barrier to whatever the thing we want that we think is going to make such a big deal. And like for me, right, it's for sure relationships. When I think relationships are out of whack, when Carolyn is upset with me, she usually gets quiet because she doesn't want to yell at me, and her quiet is deafening. It's the most painful thing in my entire life. I'm like, because I'm generally, I don't say a lot generally. I know Leila's like, what, you don't say a lot? Impossible. But I do go crazy when it comes to this stuff. It's like I can talk for a year straight, but when it comes to normal life, I usually don't have a lot to say. I'm just like,
my husband's the same way.
Yeah, so he gets in his topic and he can just go forever.
Yeah. Yes.
Normally, though, just on the everyday topic, I say nothing, and Carolyn carries the whole relationship, and it's lovely. It's a wonderful thing. I would rather her do that. But when she stops, oh gosh. And then she stops, and it's really awkward. It's horrible. And then she says that I'm weird. Why are you being weird? She stopped. And I'm like, darling, you control the flow of this relationship. I know you're upset with me, but that's why it's weird. And she's like, stop accusing me, and then it's like downhill. And
that sounds just like me too with mine.
Yeah.
It's the like whole boundary thing. So we understand
Don't
that.
most women control the flow of their family?
I
Ugh,
don't, I don't
But
know.
that's
yes.
Probably.
that's feminine energy. Feminine
Yeah.
energy is that emotion and it's life force,
Yeah.
Shakti.
She's
That's
definitely the life force.
yeah. And like we were saying earlier, the other one, like masculine energy is containment.
Mhm.
So that's why
I am certainly the fire pit and she's the fire.
exactly, yes.
Yeah. And so when the fire goes out, it's like cold and then I get in trouble. And um, so, but what happens though when I make it real? When I make it real, I support the solidness of it, the permanence of it, which makes it worse. And so in that situation, I make it real that there's a problem. And then if there's really a problem, my propensity is want to protect. Because if there's really an attack happening, I'm going to protect. For me, when I go into protection mode, I just go right to anger. I'm just like full anger mode, and uh, my body heats up. My vision kind of gets blurry, and I get focused on the one thing that I'm going to attack. And it's like it's protection. It's a protection mode that happens. And if I were to attack her, or even if I were to speak to her in that mode, the tone of it carries all what I'm going through, and it creates this dynamic that now she's being attacked, and so she has to protect herself. And and she is more explosive when it comes to being when in danger, right? She also does that. She's a protector. She's pretty fierce, like she's the one that if I'm in a dark alley, I feel safe with, because she will kick some ass if we need to. So the dynamic though when it's not real, I can just be neutral, but I have to realize this difficulty that we're in is not real. It's just a dynamic that's fluid. I can keep it light, and I can say it's okay. Or she can tell, and she could do that with me when I'm unhinged, and she could be like, it's okay. And usually we're pretty good at that. When somebody loses it, the other person makes it not real. Like, whoa, whoa. And she like when I get upset with the kids, Carolyn will always do that. She'll be like, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay, and then she'll actually start laughing because she thinks it's funny that I lose it on stupid stuff. She'll be like, it's okay, they're just being kids. So I'm like, they hit me with the stick. I told them not to hit me with a stick. Real story last weekend. So what are we making real? So if you make it real, it basically lowers the frequency, and it goes from the vapor to the liquid to the solid, and the solid things can be weapons. The solid things can be barriers.
Yeah.
I know what I'm making real.
See it as what it is, which is not real. It raises the frequency. You pass right through it. What'd you say, Sue?
Like I know what I'm making real.
Oh yeah. What is it? You get hit by a
That
stick too?
yeah, I'm making it real that men are my enemy, and that men that want to be romantically involved with me just want me to fill a role, make life convenient for them as a subservient Asian woman, and not be a mouthy bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's hard. I understand what you say by like the subservient Asian woman, because I used to talk to Darren and be like, I don't know exactly what I would say, but I'm like, there I go again. Like I'm the angry Black woman everyone thinks I'm supposed to be. you And like I would label myself that, and it's like, why don't he would even call me out and be like, why are you labeling yourself that? Like, stop putting that in your head. Like, you're not even that Black, But I'm like, well, in Orange County, I am, you know.
Gosh.
So I
Okay,
think,
maybe.
yeah, it's like
Maybe in
that
Orange
woman with
County.
the scar, where
And the neck
she's
tattoo.
like got the scar on her face, and then they take it off, and she goes into public and says, "Oh, they were treating me differently, because the scar on my face." And then the lady, tells her like, "Hey, no, I actually took the scar off. Like, you didn't have it anymore." And I feel like, yeah, we kind of like put ourselves in that. Sorry, I didn't mean to take over the conversation.
No,
it's
thank you
good.
for expanding. That's
Exactly right.
yeah.
It's true. It's projection, and I have something like this that I'm working with James at the moment. One of our tools is I would always say, I don't make you happy. I don't make you happy. And I'm projecting myself and him continuously that I don't make him happy to the point to where he's not happy.
Yeah, we put these spells on
And
ourselves. It's crazy.
yeah, and I need to stop doing that because
I do.
that we're trying. I still do it all the
Oh,
time, but we do it with our kids. We do it with
we do it
you
with our
know,
kids, which is even sadder.
it's sad, especially with Britain. She's like, every day I hear it, you don't love me. She's projecting unless
Oh
she's just
no.
asking for
Yeah.
more, like, I have to pay more
Oh,
attention to her. She's like, you don't love me. You don't love me. Well, of course, we're not going to ever stop loving our kids. But I was like, I
yeah.
am at the point sometimes where I'm like, I can't stand being around you because you don't stop and you
Yeah.
need to stop. Like, oh my gosh. I'll say this again. If I had had hair to pull out, I would be pulling it out by now.
Yeah. She's projecting her own dissatisfaction.
But like we're doing that, and like
Yeah, we are.
I'm noticing that I'm doing that, and it's a toxic thing to do.
Is it just like having friends accountable or being accountable yourself to be like, stop it? Like for us. Yeah.
For us, or it's just anybody around us, and especially it's the ones that you talk to daily, or that are like in your inner circle are going to get the wrath of whatever you're projecting, and it's going to be super annoying because I have some friends that complain a lot too. I know I do. Leila hears it. I could bitch and complain all the time, but it's like I did it to myself. Like I projected that on myself.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Soo.
Yeah.
Were you gonna say more? I feel like you were gonna say more. I'm so sorry.
No, that was. I don't need to be making more of the ice. So
we're always creating our world. Think you're all strong women for sure. And when you're strong, all our greatest strength is always our greatest weakness. They always include each other. So when you're lovely and everyone loves to be around you and like, oh, I just want to do what you want to do, and like everyone loves that. Oh, like they're just so peaceful and amiable and wonderful to be around. Well, that could be your greatest weakness because you get pushed over, right? You end up not doing anything you want to do, and you have a high level of dissatisfaction in those areas because you haven't even put time into thinking what you want to do. Like, what do I want to do? I've lost myself. That could happen. But if you're also the other side of that, let's say you're strong.
Yeah, because Soo is very serving of others. Like she's a great hostess. Every time I go over to her house, she's just like, and so I can see how like she could misinterpret that. Like, okay, I'm gonna serve you because I like you and I want to care for you, because she does care for her friends really well. But I could see how she could see somebody taking advantage of that. Or like,
well, that exists, but also the other side, they all exist within us. So now the other side is strength. Now you're strong. Now you can handle yourself. Now you can handle others. Now you can lead others. Now you can be the boss. And now you're not going to put up with any shit, right? I'm not going to put up with anybody treating me anything other than how I'd want to treat. But in that environment, in that strength, from the outside, it could look like a wall instead of like the container for life that you would hope it to be. And the wall could, to someone gentle, that you would want to have a gentle, loving life with, be terrified to want to climb over. Like, no way I'm going to that. That's intimidating, you know. And so who it for that very, very strong person, who in the world would climb it? Well, another warrior, badass asshole, maybe. Like, why do I only get assholes? Like this is a common theme for humans, right? Why do I always get this thing? Why do I always get the same person again and again and again? Well, what is the dynamic that I'm setting up that only that kind of person could go through? If the barrier is too formidable, only that rough warrior type can get over it. And so the one that you end up, that for that person, that one that gets over is that one that's gone through the battle, gone over the, gone through the moat, faced the dragon, got to the center. And now that one, as gentle as they want to be, they still had to brave the castle and the dragon to get there. And
But
so
also, sorry. Also, are we kind of saying like our biggest fear and projecting on that person makes that person the way, like makes that person our biggest fear? Do you know what I mean? Like the lady with the scar where she's like, they treated me this way, but it's like they weren't treating you, or maybe they were assholes in the store, but not because you're a scar, you know. I'm sorry, I'm talking out of my butt here, but
no, it does.
I know.
You're making them. Both things are happening. You're making them what they are.
Yeah.
Your perception, and you're attracting certain people.
Attracting them. Yeah. Yeah, that's true too. Yeah. I know I look at Jared, I have to look at his family different now. And when I look at them different, they are different. You know, I forgot what it was, but I think maybe it was at church where or was it in I don't know, where it said like, I think it was at church where they were like, see your enemy and imagine them, like, imagine what makes them happy, or imagine like what their favorite song is, you know, that makes them smile, or imagine like what their favorite food is, like humanize them, you know, because I think I tend to dehumanize my enemies.
Mm,
You know, they're just like this demon person.
yeah, demon robots that need to be annihilated.
Yeah, but you know how like when they say like when you're being attacked, like humanize yourself, and you're like, I have children. You're supposed to say like, I'm a mom, or like I'm, you know, whatever. I care for people and also whatever you're supposed to do. But it's like you're supposed to humanize yourself to like the person that's attacking you, and it's like
That's a good idea.
I need to do that to the people I'm attacking, I think.
Absolutely.
Totally off topic. By the way, I do want to say, Jevon, I know I made your talking like sound like a weakness, but is probably your greatest strength, because there's no way we're doing these videos. There's no way you're helping people the way that you do without your talking ability. So I hope you didn't get offended when I said that the other day. I'm really sorry.
I did not get offended.
I know you're awesome.
Yeah, and this what you're saying, that is like straight on point, because I mean, although on the outside, the guys that I have dated, like Lisa will tell you, like I don't have a type because I'm all over the place. but but yeah, on the inside, they are fierce moat climbers and dragon fighters, because
Yeah, at
yeah,
least.
That's a romantic idea that we want. However,
Yeah.
there's some downside to that too.
Yeah, well, and not because, yeah, I mean, they are that, not because I like that's, but yeah, just like what you were saying about having the strong defenses, because it's easy to be nice and like be my Cancer rising, like nurturing, mothering, like for my friends, because they're not trying to, like I said last time, put a baby in me and uproot my life, like, and leech off of my bloodstream. Like they're not trying to do any of that. So it's easy to be just myself.
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
them.
Mm.
Which is, yeah, like I really do like that side of me where I can just be nurturing and generous and caring and, but when it comes to romantic relationships, there's, yeah, and I hate to say this, but I like just to keep my mind more open. I was listening to Tucker Carlson on on like the women and how he's talking about, yeah, these women are sold this lie about how they need to get a job in banking and be self-sufficient and boss babes and they're just slaves. And it's like, oh, that really but like, yeah, I guess in a way I can see that because that's essentially my
I mean, unless
dilemma.
you're doing it for yourself, yeah, you
I
kind of
mean, I
are, I
am
guess.
doing it for myself, but at the same time, it's
I mean, like making your own money, like not giving it to somebody else. Yeah.
yeah, but that was kind of one of the other things too with this last one is like, I'm pretty sure I make more money than you. I'm like, you're not like a supermodel. You're not like that good to
I gotta
like,
meet this guy.
yeah, like if you're at least like awesome to look at, like there's, I mean, not to sound vain, but if you're really pretty, like that's kind of like I'll put up with a lot more if you're super pretty. Like you could have just like
Yeah.
crap flying out of your mouth, but it's like, man, you're so cute. Like you're
Yeah.
so
That's what my
like,
husband says to me.
so it's not that,
Mm.
and then it's like I make more money than you, and like you're claiming to be this, but I can clearly see no, you're not what you think and you claim that you are. Because if you are
Yeah.
what you claim that you are, you wouldn't be going around claiming you are that. So
Right. Yeah.
obviously, and then of course I have to prove myself right and push that person away and push them to the point, and then
Mm.
yeah, they go away. Like, bye bye, I was right. I get to protect
Mm.
all that I have
Interesting.
built. Yeah, I get
I
to
kind of
protect
did that
my
with Jared too. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, you and Jared, like there should be a book. Like it should be you
Yeah,
should
there
have
should be.
made a movie. Like
I like pushed him when we like did our split up. There were certain things I kind of poked at the bear, and I was like, you're like he was out of the house, and I was like, now that he's out, it's gonna take a lot to get him back in. He's gonna have to deal with these pushes in order. Like this is like a test to see
yeah,
if
you
he
have to
can.
earn it back, right?
Yeah, yeah, it was really sad.
But that's also kind of
It pushed him. Yeah, it
feminine
tested his
done.
ability, his patience, his.
Yeah.
He had to.
Like the fire pit analogy again, right? The fire it tests the boundary of the fire pit, like it tests the integrity of that fire pit, and in the testing of it the fire burns the brightest, right? And so it seems like it is like a law of nature sort of a thing, and at the same time like how it's
Yeah, I get what you're
Rela-
saying.
Relationships are a very interesting thing because a lot of the time where our attraction is just familiarity. We're just familiar. And then we think, oh, this is attraction. And we'll even frame it that way. You're framing it that way when you don't even know what it is. You're like, I don't know what it is, but we just click. Well, what is that that's clicking? That we'll say, or gut feelings, or I just know, or things like that. Well, it could be fate, and it could be those kind of things, but it also could be you're just familiar. And what is it that is familiar? Well, what's familiar is patterns. Where's our patterns come from? Well, our patterns often come from our lifelong defenses. And so if things just click and you can't figure it out, and people, especially when outside, your friends are like, what are you doing? And you're like, I just know it's right. It's like, well, you might you might want to take a second look and think, well, are my patterns what I want to keep doing? I know that with with Carolyn, when we first started our relationship, it was pretty boring. My first experience was boring, and it wasn't super romantic. It wasn't super exciting. I had the habit of super exciting, but it was always destructive relationships. It was always dramatic, fiery, burn bright, burn out, run away kind of relationships. And it was a bad habit of mine. And so when I got into something, I wanted something different. I wanted something that was lasting, that did not require someone to be saved all the time, for example. When I got into that relationship, my role, my usefulness was gone, which is interesting. If I was needed to save to be useful, and no one did, and she didn't need to be saved because she could take care of herself. Well, my experience was boring and uselessness, not, wow, thank God I could have a peaceful life. It wasn't that. But by the grace of God, I didn't go anywhere, and she didn't go anywhere, because she also came out of a relationship that was a bit fiery, and they would blow up on each other, and he would retaliate, really. And so I, by the grace of God, didn't retaliate, and she, by the grace of God, didn't move on. And then here we are. But there was a period of, this doesn't click. This is boring. This is not romantic. This, whatever those things are that we bail on a good thing, because it didn't fit in the old pattern. But if you don't like what you've had so far, not fitting in the old pattern is a good thing. So how do you know? I'm not sure. But I know your feelings, if you want something different, will betray you. And so if you're led always by your feelings, they will betray you, because your feelings are often engaged in patterns that you've already set up in the past.
Is it possible to create and attract that new relationship within the relationship that you already have? By, like you said, changing or releasing, I should say, your negative views?
Yeah, I think
Was
so.
it?
I'd always had short-term relationships, so I didn't really have a long-term one at the time. I'd always break up with people really fast. But absolutely, because every dynamic, every relationship is a dance. And if one person changes their dance, the other person has to. Now, you don't know what steps they're going to do. They can't do the same dance without their partner. And so when you change, the other person has to change.
Mm-hmm.
They don't necessarily have to forgive and move on and open heart, but
Mm-hmm.
it makes it really hard to retaliate
Yeah.
and instigate if you are not fueling the fire. If you're with non-aggression, if you don't respond, you can't fight with somebody. Like, that's one of my strengths. It's really difficult to fight with me, because I don't attack. I mean, I have, for sure, but usually I'm like, I just don't respond back. And
Can
so
I ask you a question?
you can
Was
just
your
like yell, and then after that, like, oh, this is boring, I'm moving on.
was what? Because you're saying, like, you're not that type of person, but so you're saying, can I ask you your is it, if it's okay, you don't have to answer, but like your previous relationships, were they like Carolyn, or were they different?
What do you mean? What?
L-
Like
were
personality
you
wise?
attracting the same thing over and over again?
Oh, for sure. Yeah. My previous relationships were
Okay.
like drama. It was usually, there had to be some kind of drama happening, and I
So
would come in and say,
you didn't settle for comfortable or anything at the end, like you said. You
no, they
you
would just
did,
burn out. The
yeah.
relationships would burn out because it was
Yeah.
fire, and I would, we were yelling and screaming and all these kind of dramatic situations,
So
or
you changed within
heartbreaking,
the
or
relationship.
what was that?
You changed within the relationship with Carolyn. Like you did something different than you did in the past.
Well, with Carolyn, there was no drama. This thing started. I didn't go into the relationship saving her from anything. Usually, my relationship started
Oh, I
when
see.
someone
Okay.
was in some sort of thing that I would save them to an
I see.
extent
Okay.
of something, even if it wasn't there. I thought it was there
I see.
because I had to. My own personally, my own self-worth was really low, and that's kind of that's an Enneagram three of. Not worthy of love.
Yeah.
And so you have to earn it. That's why threes are usually so accomplishment driven. So
That's my
if I
husband.
earn it, if I have to earn it, there has to be a situation to perform.
Yeah.
If there's a situation to perform, it's very awkward. It's very, then I have to look, if I'm just with you, I have to look at my own worthlessness, and it's very difficult. There's nothing to solve, and you solve a
Carolyn
problem.
was different then. You attracted something different, I think.
Apparently, I can
Okay.
only count it for the
Got it.
grace of God that helped me with her.
Jared was
We
definitely my different. But
Yeah.
yeah. I don't know. In the beginning he was very boring and I was like, why don't you talk? Why does it feel like I'm pulling teeth? Like, why do I always have to start the conversation? You know, he wasn't entertaining enough. All my other ex-boyfriends were Sagittarius, so they were entertaining. We were fun. But it's funny because Jared is the 3 and he is the entertainer. So once he got comfortable with who he was the entertainer for sure. Yeah. I don't know how to describe our relationship. It's funny because the beginning of our relationship is like more like how we are now, but there was a very volatile in between.
Yeah.
So a lot of things changed.
I think that's interesting too, though, because I know with James, he looks scary. He can be scary. Sorry, I'm trying to be quiet here because I'm working. But he's actually really shy. Like he can't start conversations with people. Like he needs to make an appointment or get something done, and I call him, make the appointment for him, or I handle a lot of things for him because he's too shy to do it, and it drives me nuts because I'm not shy, and it's like opposites attract between the two of us.
I mean,
But
he
then
seemed very
I
nice when
went.
I met him.
He is nice, but he's
That's what's
shy.
crazy.
Like he doesn't
Yeah.
talk that much. He's shy.
But he was the
And
most talkative out of all your boyfriends that I've met. And I've met a few.
yes,
And I was like, oh, I really like him. He talks a lot, which is so
nobody
crazy.
was really worthy of meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, he is. Like he's really kind. He's really gentle. He really has a lot of good aspects in him. But I wanted to kind of discuss and this, I don't know if this is off topic or if it is a part of it, but when we are attracting other people, is it because, with the long pattern, it's like date somebody like your dad, date somebody like your mom, because you're used to that pattern and that's what you grow up with and that's what you're familiar with and that's what you stick with. Because I know that I am sometimes a spitting image of my mom and my dad, and I see it now. And with James, he's like a spitting image of his mom. I've never met his dad. His dad passed away like 2 years before I met him. But he has the same personality, the same views. You name it, like the kitchen has to be clean the way his mom cleans the kitchen, or it's like, you don't clean the kitchen the right way. I don't like when you clean it. I'll watch TV. Maybe that's familiar for us too when we repeat our patterns, is because how we grew up and that's what we're adapted to. Like date somebody like your dad.
It's important to remember that all the physical universe is nothing but patterns. It's all it is. It's patterns, projected patterns. The lesson
Yeah.
today is God is in everything I see because God is in my mind. the thought of a universe comes from the thought of what would it be like to be separate. And I had to project that out into a world and create it. And so now we're really just seeing the ripple effects of that. And so for sure, your patterns that you got when you're a kid, if you're unaware of them, it's really difficult to create new patterns, because those patterns create patterns, and they kind of keep a form to it. And so it's easy for the fluid energy of life to just fall into the form and create more of that, create forms more. You can break them, you can pick new ones, but it feels uncomfortable when you do. It feels wrong, right? So Carolyn and I's relationship, well, this is boring, I don't know if it's right. Should we break up? Maybe. I don't know. What do you think? And then, after a while, it creates a new pattern, and turns out it's the best relationship that I could have had. I could not have created this relationship. I didn't know how to. I didn't have the pattern. And so it's all patterns, for sure. Is it my mom's fault that my life sucks? No. Did she give me a bunch of patterns? Yes, she did. So what do I do? Well, it's about breaking patterns, but it's hard to break patterns. So what I do, if it's before that, at least watch myself. One of the things that's the most valuable is to watch yourself repeat the patterns, being aware at least, and realize that I'm doing this. The life that I have, I'm doing it. Even if I don't see how I'm doing it, I know my experience. Now, what people do to you is not what you're doing. Your experience of what people do to you is yours. And so if I realize that, I can do things different. I can move on to different people. I can stay with the same people. I can do different things. I can have different jobs. I can engage differently with my same job. I can engage differently with it. But being aware of how I'm engaging is really important, because the same people can have a different dance.
Yeah.
If you start to dance different.
I've noticed that. I've noticed I used to be the person that cut friends off immediately. I was like, she did something bad. I'm not dealing with her. I was a friend cutter. I would like pride myself on it. Like, I'm so good at knowing when there's bad people in my life, and I can cut them out. And I make so many new friends. Like, I can afford to cut people out. Like, I was a friend collector too, because I would cut people. And my friend called me out one day because I was trying to get the phone numbers of one of my friends' friends that I had met that day. And I was like, oh, you guys live in Huntington Beach? I live in Huntington Beach. Let's hang out. And she was like, oh, don't. She's like, careful, Kelsey. She's going to steal your friends. She loves friends. And I was like, what the fuck? And it like sat with me. And I didn't realize my abandonment shit, because my friends ditched me when I was in high school. She was actually one of the friends that ditched me in high school. We became friends again. And I cut her out actually, but we reconnected because of our mutual friends. And I'm going to get baptized by her in like a month, but that's a whole other story. I don't need to talk about that. But what I was going to say is, I've noticed that when I stop putting my negativity and like my projections on, I mean, I want to share one thing, but it's a little too close to home. So I just don't want to like share it over the thing, but maybe I'll share it with you guys in person because I need some feedback on it. But yeah, where I'm like constantly just like saying negative things. And I'm like, I need to stop doing that, because I'm making up all these stories in my head that are not true. Because later I'll find out like, oh, that isn't true. And I'm like, why was I telling myself that? I did that with your wife, Jevon. It was the craziest day.
Mm.
Yeah. And I feel so bad. And luckily his wife is so forgiving.
One of the things with relationships that we confuse with love that we really want is we confuse trading with love. And trading with somebody to be in a relationship is not a bad thing. There's a whole world. The whole world's based on trading. I'm going to give you support and finances, and you're going to give me affection and children, whatever. We have all these wild trades. I'm going to give you stability, or I'm going to give you excitement, and you're going to give me companionship, or we're going to trade. And that's fine. A relationship could be traded. Most relationships are trading. As long as people keep their deals, the relationship goes on. I'm going to be a ballerina and you're going to be a rock climber. We might not ever even see each other, but as long as you support my desire for ballerina-ness and I support your desire to be a great rock climber, and I'm like, I love that you're a rock climber, and you're like, I love that you're a ballerina. I'm like, wow, sweet. We support each other. We have a great relationship. The agreement's intact. But what happens when the trading agreement is unspoken?
Mm-hmm.
You haven't even made it clear. Well, maybe you haven't made it clear because you're embarrassed. Maybe you haven't made it clear because you don't even know yourself. You got into it and you're not aware of it, and things start to shift. Like, for example, I want you to be, well, the anytime we protect anybody, like the conversation with Soo, this is anybody. If you don't want to be hurt, which I hate being hurt, right? So I've had plenty of barriers that way. And I have a barrier. My first agreement is you got to prove yourself and get past my barrier. Well, now get past the barrier. Now the agreement's changed. Now you're past it. Okay, I let you in. Now you have to be soft-hearted and completely open with no protection. All right, go. And that conversation was never had, but now I'm upset that you're still, the battering ram. You're like, no, the battering ram thing is over. Now you should be something else. And so we have all these agreements that are most of the time unspoken, but love is different. Love is given and received. Love can't be taken. Like the take. I can't take love, because as soon as I try to take love, my open-hearted giving is closed down, right? I have to close in order to take something from somebody else, because there's this structural dynamic that's required to actually take from somebody else. But if I am open-hearted, give love to somebody else, that open-heartedness is the structure that I need to receive it. But you can't be in the place where you're taking from someone else what you need and be in the place where you're able to receive love. There's structural differences that changes the vibration. And so can you be in the same relationship and it turn into loving? You can, but in my experience, it ends up being more painful at first because you lower your protection, all those devices, and it gets more painful. And sometimes people do what you don't want them to do, like they leave, or they end up hurting you the way that you thought they were going to hurt you, or they end up doing things that embarrass you, or it's endless. All the things that you're afraid of happen. But love requires that you let it happen. Remember, it's holding everything with open hand. Love requires that you let them be idiots and fail and hurt you. Doesn't mean that you can't back away and say, oh, that doesn't work for me. But it means that you have to allow them to be whoever they're going to be. And protect yourself. Don't be physically hurt. Don't be in relationships you don't want to be. But all that control part of making life the way you want it is the taking, and that's not how love is. And trading in general is not bad, but love does not require a trade. It's not love, really true love, if it requires a trade.
Yeah, conditional love.
It's unconditional. And so you can have that right away. You can have that right now, like the householder thing. I don't have to sit in the cave and meditate. I can be a householder. My kids give me all of the spiritual lessons I'm ever going to need. Walk around hurting all the people that I care about, which is them, right? They hurt each other, and breaking all my stuff and yelling, screaming, like, you know, it's like my greatest fear that the people I care about are gonna like die, and they're making die sounds all the time. Ah! I'm like, ugh. Inside, I'm walking around getting jarred all the time. Like, stop screaming. I scream at them to stop screaming. It's and so it's like perfectly attuned for me to be able to let go of. Really, that's what it is. Go crazy every day. And life is like that. Life is perfectly attuned for you to be able to let go of all of these conditions that you put up on reasons you can't love. Reason it's not the right time. Reasons they're not the right one, and so on.
Yeah, I like that.
Any final words anybody would like to draw?
Not too much. I think I'm dealing with my stuff right now, but I'm also like I said, I bring up Britain all the time because I love her so much. She's my kid. It's not like I can just kick her out the door. But she cries wolf all the time, and she's always screaming like, I broke my finger, I got this, but she yells and she screams at me, and I feel like that's like she's my biggest challenge.
Yeah.
I know Britain seems so sweet, but she is my biggest challenge, and I'm trying to work with her. Like, I'm trying to give her my unconditional love, which, you know, I do give her my unconditional love, but I feel like it's beat down by that child more than anybody in my life. Like, oh my gosh. And it's hard. I don't know how to have a conversation with her, how to speak with her, like to just calm down, like stop yelling at me, like the whole projection, how I always told James, I don't make you happy. I'm not going to make you happy. It's with her every day. You don't love me. You don't love me. You hate me. You hate me. And it's like, it gets to points where I'm like, I hate your attitude.
Can I ask
really
you
hate your
something?
attitude. Yeah.
When you're saying those things to James, like, what do you need in that moment? What do you feel like?
It'll be like, I feel let down. It'll be anything, like I said, the kitchen sink, or I didn't clean the cat
No, what do
box
you need?
that day.
What do you need from him in that moment?
I need him to love and support me and care about me.
And what does that look
And
like? You
him
say
not
something
raising
or
his
do
voice.
something?
Did he say? Yeah, he does. He will. He'll be like, "You're supposed to wash this dishes this way,"
No.
or
What do you need him to say or do to feel better? That's what I'm asking.
for him to just do it,
Oh.
or be okay with the way
But
that I wash
in that
dishes.
moment, like, what would he say or do to a lot, like, help you, I guess, is what I'm asking.
He wouldn't say much of anything. His response would be like, "Keep saying it, and it's going to come true."
I see. Yeah.
And
I know when I'm in those moments, if Jared comes and just hugs me, I like release all my crazy, you know, but he can't. He does the yelling and the stuff. Well, he did. He doesn't anymore. Now he just hugs me. I guess I was
see, and
asking because
that's
I
what I
was like,
want.
what does Britain need, you know? And I'm wondering.
I praise her. I tell her I love her. I give her a big hug. I'll sit on the couch with her and I'll give her cuddles. I feel like she wants her alone time with her mom, and maybe
Yeah.
that's her way of
Getting
lashing
it.
out.
Yeah.
And you know, it's hard when you have multiple kids. You know,
You're busy.
you got to spend quality time with each kid, like
Yeah.
separated time.
I know when my kids were little, my mom would say, just spend 15 minutes out of every hour with your kid. Because I was always going. And she's like, 15 minutes goes a long way with your kid. It'll satisfy them for the next 45 minutes.
For the next week. Exactly. And that's why I wake up so early on Mondays, is because it's like, if I can get my work done or try and get as much cooking done as I can before the kids wake up or anything, and then pause while they're getting ready for school, and then finish work and get all my work done and do my deliveries before they get out of school, and then I can have all my time with them. And then sometimes it's stressful because I have to work longer. Sometimes I'm working till like 8 o'clock at night, and they're like, "Mom, mom, mommy, 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 mom, mom, mom," and it's you know what I mean, mama. So it gets frustrating, and it's not every day. Like I said, that's just like on a Monday. Maybe it prolongs on to a Tuesday, but they're lucky that their mom only works like 3 days a week,
For sure.
and they're used to that. So if
I know,
it's
like,
extra days,
my kids, when I can't give them time, I will promise. I don't make promises. I try not to make promises I can't keep, but I will promise them something short term so that it's not like over the top big where I'm like, I don't know what my energy is going to be like that day. But like, I'll be like, hey, I can't hang out with you now. But like in the morning, we're going to do this. We're going to go get Starbucks. We're going to have a moment, you know? And like
put a Five
sometimes just
Below.
that like eases their heart, you know?
Yeah, I do that with her. If I still have to work, I'm like, Britain, do you want to come with mommy to do deliveries? And the kids are like, oh, they
Yeah.
fight over who wants to do deliveries with
I do it with
mommy
my
because
husband too.
it's like, I know that if I go help mommy, I get to ring the doorbells and we're gonna go get boba and she's gonna take me to get something to eat.
Yeah.
But that's our alone time that we have is I make my work fun for them, and Britain loves it. Like, then the rest of our day is good because I spent 2 hours with just her and did all these fun things. Like, can we stop at the store? Yes. You know, like, let's do this, let's do that, let's listen to your favorite music, let's sing in the car. And so I still make it fun for them. It's just she needs more attention than the rest in the household. So that is, it's hard for me, especially with what I'm going through right now, like a double whammy of things that I still have to stop and spend time with her and do things with her.
Yeah.
But now I'm starting to get sick. Like, I'm starting to degrade a little bit. Like, I can't really work out. It's hard for me to go on walks. Like, I'm dragging a bit. Like, my feet are numb. My hands are starting to get numb. So it's hard for me to work. So it's taking longer to work. And she's not being really understanding of certain things. Like, because it's not familiar for her. Like, mommy's always active. Mommy's always doing this and that. Like, now mommy's just taking 4-hour naps every single day.
Yeah.
I have to take those 4-hour naps because my body needs to heal before it gets pumped with more junk in a couple of days.
Yeah.
And it's, I'm trying really hard with her. It's just really hard. Liam's just really quiet. I'm sure he's feeling it, but he doesn't vocalize. He doesn't express himself ever. Like, that kid is so quiet. Leila knows that if you have a conversation with him, like, you need a cookie or a trophy or something that Liam actually had a conversation with you.
Wow.
So,
Yeah, we understand what you're saying. I get it. It's hard. I think you're doing all the right things, like you said, trying to redirect their energy to something to look forward to. So I think, like Jevon always says, like, as long as you're aware, you can do that more.
You never know.
I've been becoming more aware ever since we had that conversation about how you're sitting in a movie theater with Jesus and rewatching your life. And I always have this image in my head, and sometimes I do it daily. I think, wow, I acted like a crazy bitch last night. Let's rewatch that whole scene.
Yeah.
How do I fix it? You know, because we're not perfect. Like, I'm not perfect, but it's like, wow, I could have really handled that differently. Where are the tools to handle that differently? Or I could have just bit my tongue, say I'm going to take a shower, cry it off, or go for a walk, and then everything's back when I come back or when I'm done. I shouldn't have done these things. And sometimes I do that with Britain. It's like, I'll sometimes I yell back at her because I just can't handle it. Like, I'm stressed out. I have like 8 things I still have to cook, and I'm trying to get it done before she wakes up in the morning. And the first thing she does is she'll wake up and comes downstairs, and it's like, I'm hungry. Now, my whole stovetop is full of stuff I'm cooking. Like, can you wait a minute? Can you wait? You don't love me. Like, God. And then I go nuts.
Yeah. Well, you're doing really good, Kristen.
I'm doing my best. That's what I like to say. I'm doing my best.
You're doing good.
And that's all we can do.
Yeah. I think it's important to remember that everybody's in the middle of a great battle. You know, if you imagine somebody in the middle of a battlefield, like literally being physically attacked by someone with a sword, and you know they run past you and they don't say hello or good morning, you're like, you don't get offended that they would be so rude, right? Because they're getting attacked, somebody with a sword, and they're fighting for their life. You're like, oh, well, that's understandable, you know. But yet we get really upset by people that are just rude to us during the day, right? They don't engage in the social etiquette that a nice person would do. Like, I can't believe that they would do that, or they didn't wave back, or they gave me that look, or whatever, right?
Yeah, it changes your whole day. You're like,
we forget that we're all in a battle. We really are. And so if we remember, they're in the middle of their battle, but then you could also remember that you're in the middle of your battle, and you can give yourself some grace as well. And it doesn't mean you can't get better, for sure, but give yourself some grace while you're in the process, and being aware and doing that, and remembering that you're actually in the theater with Jesus as your character is going through their battle. It is not normal. It's not normal. It's a very wonderful thing that you would even have the desire to consider such concepts. And they're here for your freedom if you want. And it's nothing but the grace of God that would allow you to even have the desire for such things. It's a beautiful thing. You must be very loved.
I feel loved. I do. Maybe sometimes I don't feel the love that I want to feel.
Yeah, I know.
But I know I'm loved. You know, I got you guys. I got my family. Got my other friends. Like, I surrounded myself with amazing people. Very thoughtful, generous, nice people. So yeah, I think having that double whammy with Britain and then me and then James, and it's just like, oh my gosh. And I stopped saying this. Why did God grant me this? Why did God give me this? Because God didn't. It's something that I led myself to do. And it's, you know, like I almost projected this on myself. I did project it on myself. God didn't do it. I did it.
Yeah, well, to some extent, that's helpful, unless it's not. If it gives you guilt, or if it's oppressing, it's not a helpful belief. Sometimes we don't know, and the best you can do is what you're doing. You just do the best you can. That's the best.
Doing the best I can. Yes, and I firmly believe that I'm doing the best that I can. So that's all that matters.
If you want someone else's opinion, I'll say that I agree.
Thank you. Yes.
You're doing a very good job.
Thank you. I like this praise. I like, oh, I feel happy even though I'm got to cook a bunch of stuff.
I know. I do have to get off now, though.
Okay.
Same.
God bless you, ladies.
Theo needs
All
a walk.
right.
It's
Bye,
good
guys.
guys. See you
Thanks,
guys.
everyone.
Have a good
Okay.
week.
Bye-bye.
You too. Bye.
Bye.
Have a good week.